Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy.
We give you the courtesy of conversation.
That's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. So breaking news today. Before we start, like, listen, subscribe. Thanks to everybody that's already subscribing and viewing our show. Shout out to our sponsor, Doc Loves the Kids and Crime Scene Seasoning. Don't forget to pick up a box here at the link below. As we start here, AOC, Alexandria, Ocasio-Cortez, hopefully I said her middle name right, has actually just introduced an article of impeachment against Supreme Court Justices Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito. I'm going to read you a little piece of the paragraph and then tell you what the impeachments are. She says, Justice Thomas and Alito repeated failure over decades to disclose that they received millions of dollars in gifts from individuals with businesses before the court is explicitly against the law. And their refusal to recuse from specific matters and cases before the court in which their benefactors and spouses are implicated represents nothing less than a constitutional crisis. These failures alone would amount to a deep transgression worthy of standard removal in any lower court and would disqualify any nominee to the highest court from confirmation in the first place. And so I'm going to read the first impeachment resolution includes the following impeachment articles against Justice Thomas. Failure to disclose financial income, gifts, reimbursements, property interests, liabilities, transactions, among other information. Refusal to recuse from matters concerning his spouse's legal interests in cases before the court. Refusal to recuse from matters involving his spouse's financial interests in cases before the court. The second impeachment resolution includes the following impeachment article against Justice Alito. Refusal to recuse from cases in which he had personal bias or prejudice concerning a party in cases before the court. And failure to disclose financial income, gifts, reimbursements, property interests, liabilities, transactions, and among other information.
Yeah, they've been failing to recuse themselves from like so many different issues. It's just been pretty much ridiculous. I mean, you look at Clarence Thomas first and foremost. You know, his wife was one of the planners for
orchestrators of January 6th.
That's a better word for it. Orchestrators,
yes.
Of January 6th. I mean, she was part of orchestrating the entire, putting together the entire plot to go to the Capitol. I think she was even planning it with the Proud Boys. I mean,
she bussed the people in there. She she paid for the buses to bus a lot of the people there.
It's just really easy and convenient to say, I don't know what my wife does. And you've been married for 30, 40, whatever years you've been married to this woman, but you have no idea what your wife does. And you're a Supreme Court justice. There's going to be some kind of conversation within your home.
If they even live together. I mean, have you seen his wife? But I mean, have you seen him? They probably got that Wednesday special. Ooh, it's Wednesday, baby. Know what that is? Put on Sanford and Son. Let's get busy.
It just seems like a very, very convenient. Just like with Alito, they had the upside down flag, which represents the fact that they don't election deniers.
Well, the upside down flag means it's like the country's like kind of in distress. That's what it started with. I learned that from watching this the movie The Man in a Castle, I think it was, where it was about a military jail. And this like general or something had to go in there and everyone loved him for some reason, but they were going to hang the flag upside. It means like you're in distress or something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think, did that have, I think Bruce Willis in it or somebody like that? One of those
I don't know. I think the guy from Sopranos was in it. Okay. He was the warden.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
They sprayed him with the hose. They made a rock castle and they sprayed him with the hose and the rocks was hitting them.
And they also, another flag they were flying at the same time, which is all a part of the same exact, election deniers, Trumpism, and they've kind of shown what side of the aisle that they're standing on. You're supposed to be a Supreme Court justice. Yes, you can have your own personal views, but follow the law. But if you allow your skewed right-wing views to dictate the law, then there's a problem. Because in reality, if you really look at it, like I said, I had a friend of mine once tell me like, hey, you guys have the Justice Department and you guys have the White House and we have the Supreme Court, which is like, people know that there hasn't been one Republican, I think, since probably Reagan, who's won the popular vote in this country. I don't know if Donald Trump will do it or not with everything that's going on right now.
No, there's a lot of information. I mean, once the 2025 project is catching on, people are realizing what's really at stake. I mean, I talked to this girl the other day. I was just saying hi to her, and she was like, she's so stressed about this election coming up. Like a lot of people are concerned about it because a lot of people they know they don't have a place in Donald Trump's America.
I mean, it needs to be talked about, and we got to get into it a lot more than really what we're even into it.
We're talking about a lot of topics. I see the mainstream media is shooting themselves in the foot. They just keep talking about Joe Biden and what he's not doing. But I mean, these Supreme Court justices, they don't have to, navigate the law. They're just making it themselves.
I think that the media is also just really trying not to be seen as like in cahoots with.
Someone posted that up. They're like, look, you're trying to be fair, but there's like one side that's totally just lying and giving you false information. You need to follow the truth.
You look at the Epstein papers that just came out.
Yeah.
With
Donald Trump
all over them. They're not even talking about. They haven't even touched that. That's just not even being discussed.
Well, they're not allowed to say Epstein on the news.
I don't think they are.
No,
either, man. I think
there was a lady.
Man.
I think it was ABC News. She had a whole Epstein story, and they fired her for it
because there's other people who are involved in this.
Yeah.
And for them to have released as much information with Trump's name in it, with all the stuff, making late night phone calls to this lady. I mean, to this guy at 3 a.m. on flights with him, going places with him, buddy with him. He was like, I barely knew the guy. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, no, he knew him. And it's major. It's like his name's
I think they had like 90 something phone calls between the two. They were hanging out like buddies.
They got video of him where he's dancing with him. He's like, ooh, I like her. She's hot.
And they also got a thing where I think there was a 14-year-old or something like that who accused Epstein and Trump
of raping her, and then she dropped the case because of death threats. What's crazy? Like, European Americans don't care if the other ones rape people.